Sup, Cunnilingus enjoyers and Nightrein enthusiasts. Today, oh my god. Okay, today I wanted to show you guys how the Shrouded City Noklateo, or however the hell you say that, the Shifting Earth is insanely good because it allows you to get a lot of levels, get a lot of good loot, a lot of opportunities for gold drops. And as you guys can see on screen here,
oh my god, this
I killed one of these ghost knights in the city and it dropped the gold for me, which is pretty crazy. You can also duplicate any armament you want for free, whether it be a dual dagger build you're trying to do. Maybe you want dual holy daggers, you can do black knife, you can do pandemillennia, you can do purpose of blood, you can do a bow with a status effect on it, you can dupe anything. You can dupe any legendary armament for free, which not a lot of people know of. And one of the most important reasons you're doing this city is the team-wide res you get for your whole team. You get the favor, gives you a team-wide res. When the res is consumed, you get a damage boost. Basically, you get 3 Wending Graces if you kill the main boss, and you get the favor of Noklateo. By the way, before we jump into it, put timestamps in the description for anyone that wants to jump around to a specific point. And at the end, I'll include my sped up walkthrough of the route that I use a lot. So be sure to stick around for that. And now that I've convinced you guys, let's go more in depth with the benefits. One annoying thing with the city is that it always spawns in the corner of the map, but it makes up for it with the density of the enemies. It removes the castle from your map. However, everything is going to be compressed and condensed into this one place of interest. So once you actually get here, it'll be a lot better than having to run across the map for a boss and whatnot. Now, as I pointed out earlier, I killed one of these ghost knights in here and it dropped the gold. I also managed to get a gold drop on camera from one of the 2 black knife assassins that you can find here. She also dropped the gold, and this is just an example of some of the few like random enemies that you can fight that have a chance of dropping golds. Obviously, Estelle at the very end can drop golds very commonly, and the Dragonkin soldier, which is pinged on your map when you're going here, can also drop a gold. So a lot of the bosses and elites here have a pretty good chance of dropping them. There's also a secret chest I'm showing on screen that can drop a gold. I did not get it on camera, but I have seen this drop golds for people quite often. So I'll show you guys also how to get this later. So, you know, there's a lot of opportunities to be had here. Alright, next let's talk about one of, if not the biggest reason you're picking the Shifting Earth over the others, and it's the res your whole team gets from the favor of the city from defeating Estelle at the end. If you defeat the boss all the way at the back of the city, I'm fairly certain, you will basically get a guaranteed gold, and you also get this favor that lets your team res themselves after wiping a run, which also gives you a damage boost, by the way, after it's consumed. And one thing to note, bear in mind, it will prioritize Wending Graces, then activate this favor after you've exhausted all your graces. So you just bear that in mind if you're planning on, I don't know, like dumping any final damage into the boss. And you can stack this favor on top of the Wending Graces, and you can just brute force and clutch out close runs. Can't tell you guys how many times I've had runs get salvaged by this. This is by far the best favor you can get out of the 4 Shifting Earths. The 2 I used to run the most, and I'm sure you guys are also currently doing, is the gold weapon you get from doing the crater, and the Rotted Woods for the many boss drops you get from there with all the gold loot you can get. And the 4th one, let's just not even talk about that shit, bro. Let's be honest. And you can weigh your choices and decide if the gold weapon or the bullshit lifesteal you get from Rotted Woods is worth more than the team res and the free weapon dupe. And as an executor main, I know exactly which one I'm picking. Anyways, let's talk about how to optimize the run, because it's not like you have the castle where it's in the middle and you can do a third, do the sewer boss, do some of the knights, and dip, and then finish it out the second day. It's at the very edge of the map. You have to commit a full day to this. That's where I found to optimize and fully extract the most out of the Shrouded City, is just do your run as regular, is just run as you normally would do in the first day. The only thing I would switch up is I would prioritize getting all the churches in the first day and trying to grab them all, if not most of them, day 1. Oftentimes I find myself grabbing all, or if not most, and leaving one that I can take a hawk to the last one that would be on the way to the city. So immediately after the first night ends, I grab anything I want to on the way to the city, whether it be a church, or if you want to dupe a lower rarity weapon, you can grab a smithing stone 2 from one of the caves on the way. This is good if you have the 3 status effect build on Executor, and I'm sure it's good on a lot of other characters too. Your entire second day will be in this city until it closes. It closes right outside, so as long as you're not caught up on Estelle or the Dragonkin soldier, you'll be fine most of the time. Nearly every time I enter the city around level 8, 9, or 10. So if you're under that, you might be having a hard time here, especially if you plan on doing Estelle. If you're struggling with that, I'd recommend going online and watching some other guides to optimize your day 1 better. Alright, and before I show you guys the full route that I hit normally every time I do the city, barring any events or setbacks, I want to give out some tips real quick about the city. So, number 1, these knights and ogres that you see around the city can drop loot. Number 2, these Estelles on both the left and the right side of the city, yes there's 2. If you have a bow or a projectile weapon like a ballista or a jar cannon, you can aim at their head and hit him a few times and he'll disappear and drop 20k runes for everyone. One thing to note about this is it differs depending on the weapon you're using. If you're using a great bow, it's going to take less hits. If you're using one of the lighter like compound bows that are quicker to charge up, it's going to be a little bit more to hit. I think it's like 6 hits in the head with a compound bow, and I think it's like 3 or 4 with the heavy bow. So when you're doing your runs, just keep in the back of your mind, pick up a bow if you find one, even if the passive is bad. If you can afford it, if you don't have anything else, you might as well pick one up and carry it around. You don't have to be an Iron Eye, you can just pick up a random one in a drop or find one in a chest, just hang on to it. For number 3, I want to show you guys how to access this chest in the city, which can drop golds as well, and has a knight guarding it that can also have a drop. So if you look on screen, and you hang right in the city, I'll show you part of the route. You can just rush past this Estelle here, if you don't have a bow, and you go to the back here, jump on the water up here, go up the stairs, turn right here, and I would recommend killing this Black Knife as she's pretty easy to kill and she has low poise, so it's very easy to stagger her. After all that, you go right here when you get to the ledge. This is the tricky part. Don't worry about dying here, you'll respawn close by, and you can just grab your runes real quick before you attempt to jump again. You want to jump around this corner, and grab this ledge, and then drop down here. And if you're struggling with this jump, I get it. Parkour in these Soulsborne games suck dick. Surge sprinting a good bit away so that you can actually jump, because on your initial surge sprint, you can't jump, so be careful with that. Surge sprint a good distance away, and you can make the jump easier. And if you're on Iron Eye, you can use your skill mid-air to clear the jump to the bottom of the platform easily. I would skip right through the ledge if you did that. Once you make it, jump up the spirit stream and head down the stairway. And there's a knight down here I recommend killing because your team can get the loot easier and he also has a drop that you can get. Then you can get this chest very easily, uninterrupted. I've seen a lot of people get golds. Unfortunately, I myself haven't gotten one on camera, but you can definitely get one. And the last tip I can give you guys is for Estelle. If you're struggling with him, he's a hard boss, so don't feel bad. There's not much I can say, but it's just like any other boss, you know? You have to learn his attack patterns, and you'll get better and better when you fight him over time. It's not an enemy you see throughout Limfeld at all. He's only in the Shrouded City. One thing to note, he is immune to frostbite, but he can be poisoned and bled. If you're below level 11 for this fight, you're probably going to have a hard time. You feel free to go around the city and do more of the bosses and mini-bosses and whatnot. Or if you think you're tight on time, you can just skip straight down, skip Estelle, and go down to the Dragonkin soldier for some quicker loot. Estelle does take some time to kill, and he is right at the edge, so when the storm starts closing, you're going to get caught up in it really quickly. Alright, that's it. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I helped some of you Nightfarers out with this video. This is my first guide, and I'm a little shy, so I'm sorry if it wasn't the best, but I hope the information was at least useful for some of you. If there's anything else you'd like to share, feel free to comment down below. If you guys want me to make a separate short video about the whole route that you can reference, let me know down below as well. Thank you all so much again. Here's the route.